So I created this sketch. And what this sketch does is it's located, positioned with this sketch here, with this other move feature down here, which is this guy. So like if I do this, did I break it? Yeah. So, you know, I can make it all kinds of funky shapes. And you can see it's a nice smooth transition too, because I used Alright, anybody interested in the CAD, how I made this? So you can see the previous video where I created just the clipper guard. And there's a few errors in this model. That's fine. I like to break things and change things. Intentionally break features in case I want to reuse them rather than delete them. Just a technique that I use. In any case, let's see, what did I do here? So at some point in this tree was probably like the end of this part, probably somewhere. Oh, you know what else I did interesting too, is if I roll back to the beginning. So what I did is the previous version of it I saved as a step file, and then I inserted, then I converted it back to Solidworks file, and then I inserted it into, so this is rolled back before all the features. So this is actually the previous version that I inserted that part into this part, and that's weird. Okay, inserted the previous one in there, so that way I can compare them, like where I wanted to go, because I knew I wanted to move it like a ½ inch or whatever it was that I moved it. So if I do this, so now you can see here, this was the original one, and then I repositioned it to here, the inlet, or the outlet. I guess that's an outlet. So I did just put that there for visual reference. And so if I turn on my sketches here, you can see this sketch right here, in fact, is what I used to realign it. I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's hide these guys. Actually, I don't want to hide that guy. I gotta hide the comb part though. So I can select that. And so that's about the end of this part. Yeah, okay. Let's hide that. And let's hide that. Okay, so this was the original clipper guard that I made last week, earlier this week. I don't know, whenever I made that. Not quite at the end, because this is a little bit feature missing there. This cut probably. Yep. So that's the little tab that locks it into place. So basically I start with this, and let's just roll through these here. Put some radii on there, and then alright, so I guess this was the end of your plain comb file. End of comb. Maybe I jumped the gun on that? I think so. I think yeah. So now I'm adding the duct. Alright. And so a lot of different ways you can do this. A lot of times, so I'm trying to come up with a sweeping shape that also matches the contour of the clipper's body. And so here I decided to just, I did an extrusion that way. Let's clarify that. So I made this sketch, and I gave this angle, just very arbitrary, approximate, okay? And you're gonna laugh at me to see this, or maybe you won't, but anyway. So then I cut that, and this was all, just on the fly, trying different things. Probably did some other features and then rolled back to before them. But so basically I'm starting with that guy, and then I decided, so I'm trying to do these lofts, right? So I have these various lofts, and then I deleted the face. Where's the delete face? So I'm not sure. So I make this outlet part, and then I move it around later. That's what's going on. So of that. All right, so this is where we were, and then I did the, yeah, okay, here we go. So I did this offset face, which is in the same place, so you can really see it. There. So I basically took that from that solid. I made a surface copy of that face, right? And then I moved it to a different position to redo the loft. And the way I did that is the move command is a little less automatic in SolidWorks body move copy. The way I like to do it, so what you can do is just you can do a translate rotate, right? But, and why don't I see the I'm going to go into a new feature for it and show you what I mean. So if I select that, I'm going to go translate rotate, give me these arrows, and I can move it around, or I can type in a number. Right? But now it's just kind of, I have to go back into that feature whenever I want to move it. I can't use like instant 3D or dimensions or anything like that. But what I did here, is I created this sketch. So I created this sketch. And what this sketch does is it's located right at this edge of this vertex, edge point, I guess. And so that way, I'm just moving this to this line. And so if I move this line, so if I move this line, it's going to follow it. So I'm going to do that. And so then I do loft. Oh, because whatever. So then I did this loft. So let me back up to it for it. So I think this loft is going away. So I end up with this vestigial feature sometimes. That's fine. And I shell. What did I shell? Ah, nothing because it's suppressed. Evidently that didn't work. And let's see. So then I created that loft. I'm going to hide this surface again here. We can bring it back later. We have the technology. So you can see this is not a very smooth shape. And a lot of times these lofts and things, I'll do it this way. It'll be sort of a nested set of lofts. So the first set of lofts often ends up just being sort of construction geometry, and then I recreate the loft based on some of the sections of the loft. And that may make sense in a moment. So now I did a move face. Okay, see, I made that originally 2 inches and then moved it back 1 inch. The reason I did that is because the piece that this mates to has a taper to it, and so in order to match the angle of the taper properly, I measured the tip of that hose end and 2 inches up on it, and so it gave me 2 different measurements because it's tapered, and so I mimicked that. So if I go back from here, this loft, this end of it is 1.55, whereas the other end was like 1.49. Yeah. So I guess I can't show both at the same time, but you get it. And so now it matches that, and then I just did a move face to move it back down here. So now the angle is correct, but the diameter is not really correct because it's just matching the OD to OD. But then I did this next move face, which makes the diameter bigger, and then I'm going to shell it, and that's how I'll have the right inside diameter, because I'm basically going to, the same amount that I did that move face is the same thickness that I'm going to give it in the shell command. What am I deleting? Okay, I'm deleting that guy, because as you can see, these don't match up anymore, right? And so I'm just going to delete that body with this feature, and then I will use, let's see, yeah, so again I did a new loft to this expanded diameter, but that's still not my final geometry. Then I moved this guy, and again I used that technique for the move where I have a sketch and I move the cylinder to there. Now there's not actually a point on the cylinder, so what I had to do here, if I remember correctly, is there's a second piece that's hidden right now, and I'm a liar. Okay, that must be a different move. That must be a later move that I did. So I actually added a second body to use. I'm not sure why I didn't have to on this, and I did have to on a later one. Anyway, no big deal. That's okay. That's this body. So I created this body because I want to move it again to elsewhere. So I added that guy so that I can use that to align it to this new sketch. So this sketch, basically, I wanted to move this and align it with this line, so it's tilted 13.5 degrees, and I want to go from this point to this point and rotate it 13.5 degrees. And so then this next one, this next move copy body, move it to that. So that's my technique for move copy bodies, is I use a sketch to position whatever I want to move properly, and then, like I say, I can move the sketch around and it'll reposition, or let's say, you know, that angle or something. That's so if I just gives me a lot more flexibility with the move copy bodies command than just moving it sort of manually the obvious way. This is the less obvious way, much more power. So then what do we do? So you can see this one is much more smooth shape. So basically, what I did, so that surface body, remember that surface body that we positioned with this sketch here? Where's the sketch? Wherever that sketch is. So I repositioned, remember that was the surface that we offset the surface from the solid, offset face from the solid earlier loft, and then moved it. And so that now for my loft, I changed it to using the original starting face and sketch, I believe, as I did. Did I just do face? Yeah, I just did a face of the existing body. So that, like I say, I'm rebuilding a more organic shape, smoother shape, by using existing surfaces of the construction of the earlier lofts that were just the construction features. And then this, so it basically goes from that face to that face to that face, right? And so this, there must be a body up here, or a sketch. Okay, let's get a sketch. Yeah, sketch 43. Okay. Where did I define that sketch? You know what else I did though? I did normal to profile here, and I did normal to profile here. So that gives it the curve. But like, if I didn't go normal, if I just went none, and none, you can see it's not. The curve isn't coming perpendicular from the normal from the sketch. So that's why I did set to normal to profile. And normal to profile. You can see the big difference there. Okay, just X out of that. And so where did I get though? That sketch is on this plane, which got created by what? If I click on it, I see child, so sketch 43 and lofts. Oh no, sorry. Loft 4. Where's loft 4? This guy. Okay, so alright, I see. So I made the plane. Yeah, I created a plane off of that face by ½ inch. Right? So, why did I do the ½ inch? I don't know. It seems like a good thing at the time. Evidently. I'm sure it had good reasons. And so then I created another loft. To connect those guys. Okay. See, that's a much nicer, smooth shape than this and this. And that also didn't want to shell properly. And so the new shape shells much easier. You can see, just do the shell command. And I also, I want to check this one. section view. So I can measure it. Did I save that? Yep. And it doesn't want me to. It doesn't like the section. Like it's not happy. It doesn't want to show me the section view. So, but this was I was measuring the inside diameters just to make sure that I didn't foul up the dimensions, so that way it would fit on the vacuum hose, and that did fit first try. And let's go back into here. Alright, so there's our basic shape, and it is revised from the original one, so that was the original one, right? And then I guess I'm probably just mostly getting rid of extra features. Combine failed, whatever. The shell failed. It's fine. It's just from old features, and I don't care that much. Like, it doesn't matter if there's a couple errors here and there, so it's fine. That's some. What did I just combine? I'm not sure what I combined there. Oh, okay. I did combine the hose part to it. So that is now one body. If I turn on my solid body filter, then I'm deleting stuff, and I'm shelling there. I'm pretty much done shelling. So a lot of these features are just vestigial from, because I would build up the construction geometry and try to shell it, and then it was being stubborn, and so then I remade it, and it looks nicer, and it shells properly, and I just rounded off those corners. Let's turn off these sketches here. Broken features. Deleted that guy, and I added these guys here. I added those. Oh no, that's not way back there. That's just optical illusion. Yeah. So here, let's back up. So here, I just made a sketch on here, and there's that sketch. Just to add this corner angle brace, which ended up being unnecessary, but like chicken soup, can't hurt. And I filled that edge, and then I mirrored it over, and then I combined these guys, and then I did a final delete just to get rid of anything, because I exported to a step file. Even if it's not visible, it shows up in the slicer when I import it. So, and what is this last guy? Ah, I added this reinforcement. Just a little extra material to reinforce it right there, because the original one I made cracked here because of the plane, you know, the direction of the layers allowed for it broke right here, cracked like here or here, one of these. And so I added this extra material just to give it a little more strength, and because I could get away with it right there. And so that is the whole thing. Now I'm tempted. I'm not sure why I had such a hard time clicking this guy on. That was a little weird. I mean, luck of the draw? I don't know. I'm tempted to make an adjustment, but I'm not going to. Oh, you know what I am going to do? Is this is the 1.5 size, and I'm going to make multiple sizes of it. Oh, and I also do need to save this as a STL file, so I can put it up for download. So let's save this as go to step, and then I go like that, and then I change to STL. Ah, not what I tried to do. STL. There we go. Oh, I forgot to put the size on that. I can change that elsewhere. What is that? Did my Solidworks just crash? How about that? My Solidworks just crashed. How about that? Okay. Alright then. Let's try that again. Am I at least aligned properly with the window still? Yep, good. Thinking I saved. I had to have saved it a bunch of times since it was finished. Looks like everything's there. And I'm going to... Actually, I can just rename those after. So what I am going to do is change the size. So this guy. Yep. So this is the 1.5. So if I change it to 1, that's going to be 0.13, 1.12 either way. And so this comb size distance should change when I update. It's thinking hard. There it goes. You know what? I'm going to do something else too. These tines stick out farther than they need to. And so it's going to be that same sketch, right? Yeah. So let's go into that sketch. And so what? Somewhere along the way, this is annoying that I can see all these because it's this reference. I'm just going to hide that. Okay. So I go normal to there. Get rid of my sketch relations. Alright. So this... Yeah, okay. Let's make that... Let's just... Let's do it this way. Here. I'm going to put all that to the maximum. And I want it to sort of scale. Based on the size of the comb, similar to as the original ones do. So, how might I do that? Let's do this. Let's just pull this one in and see what happens. That and that's interesting that I thought okay. Hearing phantom noises. Let me think. I guess I should just check those combs. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to match the size of the comb. Alright, so I just measured a couple of these combs here, and I realized, I've made a funny realization, like I already knew. Like I don't have the size 1 or the size 1.5, so I can't really measure that one. But I did measure the size 2, which was like 0.9. I want to make this one. I don't understand why it wasn't at this point. I swear I put it to that point. I do want to like that. And again, I'll set it to the maximum. And so like on the number 2, this was like 0.9. And on the number 0, this was like 0.075. I can't even go that low. What? That's weird. Okay. Let's see how low can we go. So a quarter. But anyway, so 52 is 0.9, and this is basically the half. Did I call it 0? It's the half is 0.08, let's say. So each, let's see, 2 steps in between that. So we're going 9.6, 0.3. So this guy should be 0.3-ish. Okay, I like that. Now, if I rebuild it, it's having a hard time. It's thinking hard. It's rebuilding. Oh, interesting. Well, let's do this. I bet you. They're combined. So I'm just going to, instead of messing with the pose part, I'm just going to bring that time up. So basically, if I just make this dimension much bigger, number 5, bring it up like this. And I like this, making it smaller, not bigger. That's not very good. That's good. Okay. And we will. Oh, you know what I did want to show? So like when I went to adjust this, so like I can undo that, and the whole thing will be different. See that? So that's a nice thing about the move command technique that I showed. So I can move all the stuff, I can change that angle, I can just drag the line around and do the same thing. With this other move feature down here, which is this guy. So like if I do this, it would bring that face way out here, and then this thing will be a much bigger bowed thing if it didn't break it. I don't think it'll break it. Yeah. So, you know, we can make it all kinds of funky shapes. And you can see it's a nice smooth transition too, because I used, as I said, I made the original clunky bunch of different loft sections just to get the faces in places where I could reuse things to make a much smoother version. So obviously I'm going to undo that. And let's see. Oh, I need to change the number to 1 because that's not the one I need for 1. So let's edit the sketch. Goes up this ramp and then pushes this outwards. I really don't want to mess with it. The other one's all clipped on just fine, so I think it's something. Actually, you know what? Now I think about that. This guy, I should bump it out a little bit. That actually just like the move, and then to give it a little more glare because it was tricky to get this clip on the cutter, and so that should all right. Save. Step files and STL files, and I have a way of doing this. So I change my. So you have to save early on, just in case software crash, as you saw. So I actually changed the save hotkey to just the S key rather than the Control S key, because Control S is a little more effort to do, and so S key not so much. So and then Alt S is save as, and so I'll do save as, and I'll grab this, and I'll hold the Control key, and I'll drag it, and makes a copy. And so now I have various backup copies in different places, so that way when I break my models, as I do all the time, I can open the previous one in Solidworks and tab back and forth between them to see how it worked before I broke it. And repair the model that I broke. But I also, that guy, I'm going to select the file type, I'm just going to hit S twice, that gives me the step file, and 621B, and that is the 1.0 size. I should change the name of this file to, I'm going to change it to VaccuKlipper. What did I call it? No, VaccuKlipper. VaccuTrim, actually. That sounds like something, I'm not going to say VaccuTrim. I mean, I'm going to call it VaccuKlipper. Just, anyway. VaccuKlipper. So let's see. Save. VaccuKlipper. It seems like it should have a K just because everybody likes to spell products phonetically instead of, and somehow that makes them more attractive as products. Not sure exactly how that works. Seems to be a thing. Alright. Now that I've given it the proper title for the file, now I will save it as a step. And it's going to be 0621B 1.0. Oh, I see that the delete field didn't work, so I probably would have spare bodies in here, so I'm going to have to redo that. Keep bodies. They didn't combine. When did they combine? I changed the shape of that, and now these it no longer recognize it because I changed the shape of it. That's weird. Solidworks funny sometimes. Alright, so now I only have one solid body. Yes, one solid body. Okay. And so now, let's see. Save as a step file again. I already have it. And so I'm going to go write it. Y3S. And I'll do one more time. And I'll go do the step again just to get the file name. And then I'm going to change this and put S one more time. STL, just quick hotkey things I do. And save that. So now I have the step and the STL for this guy. Yes, save that please. And I guess I'll just print it and make sure that the adjustments are good, and then I'll make the other sizes because I'm going to print them different colors anyway, so they'll be color coded. So I did this. I actually printed this in blue. I had just total coincidence that the render is in blue and that the print is blue filament. Just total coincidence. Next one I'll do green or whatever. I'll see what color I have handy. I mean, I have a million colors handy. Not even a million. Colors handy, but we'll see when I get up to what I feel like using. So let's go into the slicer. And this guy. I guess I'll keep it oriented this way, will I? So part of it is how it shows up on my camera, where my camera's printed on my position relative to my camera. So I'm going to rotate this a little bit, so it's a good view of it. All right then. The settings are already where I want them. Sports and blah blah blah. Sports from the table only. So interesting, that will support only like the first. I was curious just to see luck of the draw, how far in it would make it round with sports, and that this tree supports would only go so far, and that assumption was correct. That presumption was correct, and it did only support that far, which is fine. And it's perfect actually, because that's just enough to get the hose from the vacuum cleaner that far into a nice clean outlet. Alright, and so I just need to export to local and USB drive here. Well, anyway, you don't need to see these save files, so I will do that offline. And anyway, hope you found this interesting, and like, subscribe, share, blah blah blah. And yeah, I'm gonna go print this off and see if I added some more to the video. Anyway, stay tuned. See you in the next one.